Guys and dolls, Freedom Dad here, and it is a cold morning, but it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Once I get up the field, I'll show you the frost, but it's absolutely beautiful, so it is. It's a good day to be alive. There's no two ways about it. A really good day to be alive. I'm hoping this isn't jumping about too much, the wee mic. But yeah, all good. So obviously I'm going to touch on what's going on with our good friend Paz 49 and Maratusi, so I haven't seen Maratusi's video that he has said some things. I hear that he said that it was small channels, obviously like me, like I'm the smallest channel out of us all, to be honest with you, and he says most beyond universal credit. Yep, hands up, that's me as well. So I don't think he's, obviously he wouldn't have seen my video or anything like that, you know what I mean? So he's just thinking, you know what I mean? But I think it's just a bit cheap, you know what I mean? I think it's a bit cheap, I don't think it's nice, not a nice thing to say or do, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not really bad-mouthing the guy or anything like that. I'm just saying that I don't watch his videos because I'm not into clickbait, and he's admitted he does clickbait. And like, so, hiya. So that's not even up for debate, you know what I mean? It's not like we're debating anything. I haven't said anything wrong or haven't lied about anything. I've just made my own personal feelings, as I do with you, as I talk about everything. If I'm able to talk about what's happened to me in children's homes and stuff like that, I can talk about most things, I think, and I think it's only fair, I'm not going to be as scared of anybody because they got big channels and big followings and all that, you know what I mean? That's like, I've never been that type of guy. I'm not chasing like a big online presence. I'm not looking money or anything like that, I'm just doing, everybody knows why I do this. I make it really, really clear and plain, you know what I mean? I enjoy doing it. It's like going out with my dogs. I keep myself to myself, you know what I mean? And I've just been bit too many times, guys, you know what I mean? I've had some really good friends turn against me, like, one really good friend got me 18 years, so it is difficult to trust, it really is. Like, so yeah, I keep myself to myself. I have good friends around me in my life, but like I say, most of them live quite a long way away: Belfast, Glasgow, Liverpool, but I've got enough friends around me here, good friends that are class good friends, you know what I mean? But when I'm out with my dogs, it's just me, and it's nice just to be able to have a wee chat. And it's nice that people want to listen to me, and I'm just blown away by that. And I started this more just like because I was seeing what's going on, and it is the truth, guys. I was watching, and I was watching the rats. I never made any comment, never done any videos, never done any posts about it, never opened my mouth, I just was watching everything. And then when people started getting arrested, I thought, oh my God, this is really bad, you know what I mean? And then all these big platforms all started panicking, and started going off her and disappearing, and and I just thought, you're on these platforms, make yourself such a big presence, and be in a news channel or whatever, you know what I mean? And then as soon as the shit hits the fan, you basically shit yourself. That's what that's the way I seen it, and that's on my mother's grave, guys. It's the only one of the main reasons why I started doing this. And anybody close to me, my partner, my mother-in-law, my close friends that are around me here, will all back me up on that. That was the reason. I couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? And I was never been one, like I keep saying to these guys, I've never had my photograph taken by anyone. Like all the times that I've been arrested for murders and armed robberies and done time and everything, never once have they been able to get a photograph of me to put in the papers. And that's how private I've been. I've always been like that. There's other things that I've done that other people didn't do that I did because I didn't want to be known or seen, where other guys would be putting themselves out there because they wanted to be seen as such a, in Belfast, Northern Ireland, with all the troubles, a lot of guys join things for the wrong reason, just for the, oh, I'm a big man, I'm one of the boys, and you know, you can't do nothing to me because I'm connected, you know, one of them ones. And they would go to all the do's and go to all the parades and always be seen. And I wasn't like that. I kept myself private. I love my country, and the only thing I cared about was my country and my fellow countrymen. I was a bitter Ulster man. There's no two ways about it. I was brought up to be bitter, and I would have done anything I was asked to do, you know. And that's just the way it was. And there was so many like me, you know. So yeah, that's who I am, you know. And I only came on here because somebody needed to speak up about what was going on. Somebody needed to say that things were wrong in this country and not be scared to do it, you know. And that's it. And the reason, like I say, I've always said from the start that I would never monetize. I would never ask anybody for money and stuff like that, because I didn't want my message getting distorted or anything, you know what I mean? And, you know, I don't need the money. I don't need the security. I'm not as big as some of these other platforms, you know, and I've always said that as well. Never stop giving. I've always said that as well, you know. I'm just saying that people expect a standard, you know. You can't just like do something like this and just behave anyway, and like, you know, it's just not nice. You've got to have a wee bit of respect. I would always behave with people online as if they're standing in front of me. That way you always behave yourself, you know what I mean? It's very easy to become a keyboard warrior when somebody's not standing right in front of you. And I'm talking about this bodyguard of Tussies calling Paz out, you know what I mean? Doesn't even know Paz, you know what I mean? This is the problem with a lot of people. They just don't know. Yeah, that tells me straight away who that type of guy this guy is, this bodyguard of Tussies, you know, to say that, because we all know there's always somebody bigger and harder than you. You're only as good as your last fight, you know, and that's the bottom line, you guys. And anybody from the street or anybody, you know, as anybody knows that, you know what I mean? And, you know, coming out online, it's got nothing to do with him. Nobody's saying anything bad. Nobody's telling any lies. You know, it's online. You put your face out there. You know, if you're going to put your face out there, you've got to take criticism. You can't just badmouth everybody. You know, take the piss out of people because they're on universal credit. You know what I mean? Or because they've got smaller channels and try and say that there's something about their egos and all that. It's not. You can tell the caliber of people when they're online. I can tell the caliber of Paz. Nothing about his ego. You know what I mean? He's probably been like, he's probably a bit like me. He probably started this for his own mental health, to help him understand what was going on and to help other people that were feeling exactly like him. Because that's how I was feeling. I was feeling as if there was nobody there talking, representing me. There was nobody saying the things that we need to say. And there still isn't anybody saying the things that we need to say. They're all scared to get demonetized. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's okay. We get that. But don't sit on your high horse and start pointing the finger at other people because you've been called out, you know what I mean? And then getting your bodyguard to threaten other guys, other patriots, good loyal patriots that have served their country, you know? They've done a lot more for this country than any of these men stand behind these cameras right now, and I can assure you that. Paz 49 is one of the most respectful, he gets my most respect. Him, there's no two ways about it. Any man that served this country and done what he's done with the things, and went into the prison service, and you know, not many men can do stuff like that. Believe you me, spent most of my life in prison. It takes a certain caliber of a man to work in a prison, especially dangerous prisons. You know, not all prisons are the same. You can have people working in prisons, and it may be an open prison or something. You know what I mean? Where it's just where nobody causes any problems because everybody's trying to stay good. Everybody's trying to get home leave. Everybody's trying to get early release. You know what I mean? So different prisons of different atmospheres, believe you me, you know. And people like Paz, Richard Inman, you know, they're the type of guys patriots should be following. No, 100%, you know. Come on, girl, this way. You know, they've earned their stripes, you know what I mean? They've earned their stripes. And they ain't just popped up out of nowhere because of the troubles on our streets or because of what our children are going through. They're not taking advantage of a bad situation. They've been there from day one. Not only that, but they started in the army. That was their first fight, you know. So I'm not going to sit back and let anybody badmouth anybody like that and not say nothing. And I've always said I'm not going to come on and use my platform as anything personal or badmouth anybody. But this is different, guys. This is people that are on. This is different. I would never use my platform to pick on anybody or bully anybody. These people, Maher Tousi's got nearly 1 million followers, and he knows that, and that's what he hides behind that. He thinks because he's such a big following, he can behave and act any way he wants because his followers will always back him up. Let me tell you something: the British people are not stupid, and I know not that they're not all British people that are subscribed to his channel, right? But believe you me, the British people aren't stupid, and they will see through it all. You know, slowly, one by one, they will all drop away. You know, and it'll be a lesson to other YouTubers that you can't just behave any way you want and say whatever you want about other YouTubers. You know, there's things going on in this country that people need to throw their energy into. You know, like Hope Not Hate, end racism, and the trade unionists are causing us so many problems. And we've got a government, an illegitimate government, that is causing absolute havoc. They're trying to bring Islamophobia laws, or whatever they call it, blasphemy laws. Shoot up!
Things that is coming up over and over again is Islamophobia. We have to continue with a zero tolerance approach. There's more we can do in government. There's certainly stuff online which I think needs tackling much more robustly than it is at the moment.
What I'm hoping, Keir, is your experience as a prosecutor means you'll be thinking about the strategy we can use to make sure we take action against those who break the law.
Where are you going? This way. Come on. She's just wanting to run off on her own. They're wanting to make it legal for cousins.
The reason the practice is so common is that ordinary people see family intermarriage overall as something that is very positive, something that helps build family bonds and helps put families on a more secure financial foothold. However, as is well documented, it is not without health risks.
You know what I mean? And this is people don't understand. Like, we know that it happens in Britain by many communities, you know, many communities, you know what I mean? I'm not going to start calling communities out because we all know, you know what I mean? I don't need to be naming communities, but cousins going with cousins, first cousins, and these are people who've got the same grannies. This is what you got to understand. These people have got the same grannies. I've been around people. I know, I've had friends that have been with their girlfriends have had the same grannies, you know what I mean? It's not something that's just popped up, but the problem lies with the health conditions that some of these children are born with, and the pressure and the stress it puts on the NHS. Cheer up, come on girl, this way. Come on girl. Sorry for shouting in the mic, guys. Come on baby. Yeah, so basically guys, there's a lot going on right now. We've got some Muslim think tank or something attacking GB News. You know?
I have a message for everyone. I will not be scared into silence when it comes to talking about radical Islam, British culture and multiculturalism. Today there was a highly inaccurate and defamatory report published that accused GB News and myself of being an anti-Muslim hate channel and Islamophobic. This report was put forward by the Centre for Media Monitoring, so it sounds really official. But who is that, really? Well, it's a project by the Muslim Council of Britain.
You know what I mean? You've got to be very careful what you say. You know, the police are scared to do anything. They're getting chased out of some of these areas. We've got teachers having death threats and having to be in hiding.
The teacher in Batley, I mean, we all, I have to say, probably remember him. An Islamic charity has now been formally rebuked by the charity watchdog for so-called inflaming tensions and risking safety, because they named the teacher at the centre of all of this. This was the Batley Grammar School, of course. I'm talking about the Purpose of Life charity. They put this name into the public domain. Obviously, I'm not going to name that person. Joanne, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think many of us have looked on completely aghast at this story, that this could happen in Britain now, that a teacher is essentially hounded out of his job. He's lost his living, but more importantly, he and his family are now having to live under a constant police guard because their lives have been put in danger as a result of this.
You know, anybody says anything bad or goes up against some of these guys, they come out in their hundreds, if not thousands, and our police are terrified of that.
The point, what I want to talk about is what happened afterwards. Last night there was this seething, angry mob outside Rochdale Police Station. Now, this is what struck me. So I was reading the papers this morning, you know, Mail Online and all that, right? Particularly Mail Online. I counted. On the 11th paragraph, it was angry mob, Manchester against racism, campaigners. The 11th paragraph, it's finally mentioned they're yelling Allahu Akbar. You know, and they're, in fact, it's not an angry mob. Well, it's an angry mob, but what it really is an angry Muslim mob. What we've got here is another sectarian saga, haven't we?
I'm afraid I don't want to hear Allah Akbar on our streets in any circumstances, any more than I would want to hear any other aggressive religious proclamations on our streets. And we all know that that is not meant, the way they are chanting that, is not meant in some peaceful, worshipping manner, is it? It's a kind of threat.
You know, and that's a big problem. And nobody's addressing it. Nobody's addressing it. You know, some people are just too busy putting up fake headlines so they get more views, more clicks, more subs, and make more money from advertising revenues, you know. And, you know, not only that, when real YouTubers that are here for the real reasons and they don't just fire names up willy-nilly to get views and all the rest of it, and they're here because they really care about their country, they really care about what this place is going to be like when their children are growing up, do not deserve none of this. They do not deserve none of this, guys. And I think it's an absolute shame, you know, that when people, as always in our society, get power, get fame, they start to change, you know. And what would I have done different? If I had been Toosey, I would have just what like, yeah, a clickbait. Yeah, I'm a sort of I'm sort of going mainstream, you know what I mean? Okay, fair enough, we get that, you know. But if people don't like that, and they say, well, I'm not following Toosey because I don't like the clickbait, it does me nothing, it's sitting there waiting for the headline to pop up in the video, 15, 20, half an hour video, and then you get to the end of the video, nothing's mentioned about it, it pisses me off, you know, and that's just personal, and that's just me talking to my followers. This is always me just talking to my followers, you know. I'm not here to dig anybody out, but whenever good friends, like, who I've been following for years and years and years, who I feel like I know personally, who I've never met Paz, but I feel I know him personally. And for a man that's been so kind and generous to me, even though he knows I've been in prison and he knows my background, but he can see that just because I've done bad things, I'm not really a bad person, even though he's only got my word to take for that. But I wouldn't come online, you know, everybody knows me. I've been everywhere, you know, and I can't just come online and talk rubbish or tell lies. I would get called out, you know. I don't even tell you, I tell you 10% of my life, you know, and if you knew the rest of it, you would be totally shocked of what I've went through, you know. But there's reasons why I can't talk about some of this stuff, and I will, you know what I mean, but there's reasons why I'm not doing it right now, you know. But yeah, come here, Tulip. Paz is a kind, generous man, and he's a genuine man. There's no two ways about it. And I just don't think I could come online today and do my normal daily video without mentioning what's going on, you know. And that's basically it, guys. I'm not going to say anything else in this video because I have got a lot to say. I want to talk to my followers about normal stuff like my life and what's going on, and maybe give you a wee story from part of my life, because like I do bring wee bits of my life as a wee story in some of my videos. Just so I like talking about it. I like talking about it because it keeps it in my mind. I don't want to get older and forget stuff, you know what I mean? And I just know it makes me feel good that I'm able to remember and stuff, because it's difficult, you know what I mean? It's like I don't have any brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, or anybody to talk about my life or remind me of what I was like, or, you know, remember this and remember that. You know, I've lost so much. I've lost memory of so much stuff, especially with my mum, you know what I mean? Well, I have got good memories, you know, 100%. I'm very, very lucky that way, that I'm very lucky that I've got really good memories of my mum, but I have lost more memories than I remember, you know? So that's one of the reasons why I like talking about it. And it's entertaining. I know you like to hear some of the mad stuff that's went on in my life, you know what I mean? And it is madness, you know what I mean? It is absolute madness. I don't even know how I got through half of it, you know what I mean? I really don't know how I'm still here. I really don't. But it is what it is. But listen, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. And I just think, you know, putting somebody like Paz under pressure, and Paz suffers from PTSD, right? And that's probably just the tip of the iceberg, you know. We all have problems with mental health, you know, and this helps us. Doing this helps us. And I just think it's a wee bit low for that man to come out and threaten Paz. Wait till I see him, you know. It doesn't matter, any man, doesn't matter how hard they are. When you've got somebody threatening you like that in this game, that like going to the rallies and or the protests or the demos, whatever you want to call them, being part of the movement in the community, and then being told that maybe the next time you go to one of these there might be somebody going to attack you. Imagine what that's like. Imagine what's that like. That's not nice. And I don't expect to hear anything like that again from any patriots, because it's absolutely disgusting, you know what I mean? And it just says a lot that it's where it's coming from, you know what I mean? One of the biggest channels on our right wing right now, one of our biggest channels is behaving like this, you know what I mean? It's absolutely disgusting. There's no two ways about it, you know. But it is what it is. When you've got so many followers and people are behind him, he's got so many big names behind him. I think he feels he's got the license to behave whatever way he likes against whoever he feels like, you know. Especially if you're small, like he says, there's small channels. You know, he's got nothing to fear, has he? Especially from my wee channel, you know what I mean? But you got to be very careful. That's all I'm going to say, you know. Because there's a big bad world out there, so there is, and you can't just run about throwing threats at people, because there's lots of people involved right now in our movement from all over the United Kingdom, and 99% of them are not online. Believe you me, 99% of them are not online. 99% of them do not put their faces online or anywhere else. They do not go on the stages and talk like I do. So, you know, I love Paz. I think he's amazing. I've been on a really long journey with him, personal journey with what I've been through. And there's been times in my life when I've been in a really dark place, and I've been in a dark room with the curtains shut, not getting out of bed. And I've hit the YouTube, and Paz has come on, walking out in the woods or in the field, talking about things that are really making my mental health worse, stuff that I'm watching and nobody else is addressing. And just that man talking about what was going on in my head made me feel that wee bit better. And there was many times like that, and there's been many YouTubers like that, you know, that have helped other people out. And it's not just a gimmick, it's not about money, it's not about fame. Some people are actually doing this to try and help other people. And that's what people forget, because they're so wrapped up in making so much money, because they're so wrapped up in all these million followers. Tulip, don't you dare, come here. Tulip, sorry. Tulip, come here. I'm going to have to go, guys. All my love, and God bless.